Welcome back to my channel. I'm James. Today I've got a big, exciting advanced review and we're going to be deep diving into James Cameron's 1989 film, The Abyss. This is the brand new upcoming 4K Ultra HD release that releases in a little over a week from when I'm filming this. This was sent to me early for review, and I do appreciate when the studios reach out and send things to me early for review, but as always, as most of you know that have followed me for a while, it never changes my testing analysis, review scores, or any of my results. Now, I was sent True Lies and James Cameron's Aliens as well. Those will be in future videos coming up here very soon. I'm actually working on all of these simultaneously, doing all my testing, analysis, and reviews on these. These will each be in separate videos, and then I'll have a fourth video at the end that kind of sums up and kind of answers a bunch of questions that you all have, and kind of gives you little tidbits that I wasn't able to cover in each of these videos. So that way there's a sum up total with a bunch of questions that you guys ask in the comment section below. I'll answer those in a follow-up video after all of these are done. Now, in today's video, I'm going to answer the massive question, is this worth buying and is this worth adding to your collection? At the end, I'll sum it up with my total review score as I always do. But I've got a lot of stuff I discovered when I went through my testing and analysis on this, as in each of these titles, that I'm going to be sharing in each of these videos. Now, it's very important, if you decide you're going to buy The Abyss and add it to your collection after you watch this video, make sure to go down to those Amazon sale links I posted as a pinned comment in the comment section right below this video. Those links are very important and help to support the creation of all of these videos. I can only do this with all of you, my viewers and subscribers' support, through using those direct Amazon sale links right down there below. They never cost you, the viewer, even a dime extra, and it's a way you can help support these videos simply by clicking on the link down there when you go to purchase it. So make sure if you're going to buy or add any of these to your collection, always use those direct Amazon sale links I posted right down there below. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be comparing it to the digital version. I will tell you there are some big differences right off the bat when I put it in compared to the digital version that I already own. And I'll get to those a little bit later on, but I will be showing you the native images pulled from those above so you can see the differences side by side and what you're actually getting on this 4K disc. Now, I will touch on there's been a lot of discussion about the quality of these, and I'm going to set the record straight because when I went through testing these side by side between what the difference is between the digital and what the actual just quality on these 4K discs are, there's a lot of interesting things I discovered. For example, this is a native 4K 2160p, and that's for both cuts of the film. Both the theatrical 1989 cut, that's 140 minutes, and the 1993 extended special edition cut, that's 171 minutes. I will tell you they both have Dolby Vision and HDR10 on them, though I will tell you between the HDR10 and the Dolby Vision was the clear winner. Both in colors, tones, and everything, it just looked roughly 10% better looking than the HDR10. So my preferred way to view this, and the clear winner, was Dolby Vision. It literally was a noticeable difference and really was a nice improvement that I was surprised we got, considering the fact of that a lot of the Disney previous releases haven't had Dolby Vision until James Cameron started requesting them. So I do appreciate that he's putting Dolby Vision on these, because if you compare the two of them like I do, I compare things on 4 different professionally calibrated high-end displays and 4 professionally calibrated different 4K players, so that way I can see the differences between HDR10, Dolby Vision, and there was an easy 10% difference, and Dolby Vision was the winner. Now, the film did get a new 4K digital restoration. There's a lot of things going around about how the restoration was done. What I care about is how it looks when I'm watching it. How does it appear on this 4K disc? Obviously, the digital, as you've noticed in those native images up above, the digital is a softer presentation and does not look nearly as good as the 4K disc. Now, I predicted that because, to be honest with you, a lot of digital, because they dumb them down, compress them down, they lose a lot of detail, they lose a lot of depth in the image, and a lot of the times they do sometimes have a darker appearance in some areas, and that's one thing that was the case in this. This native 4K does have a light, natural layer of film grain from beginning to end. I'm happy to report they did not DNR it away or take it away. You can see the nice natural layer of film grain from beginning to end. I will say there was just some slight fluctuations, but there was some issues just briefly in some of the heavy rain scenes, for example, or when there was really big bubbles that were going underwater. there would, with the film grain, get some slight digital noise that you would also notice some slight blocking. Now, it's not horrible, and I will say that because of the testing and analysis I do, I'm looking for all of these little nitpicky things to point out and share with all of you, which is what all of you watch this channel for. But I will tell you, probably 80 to 90% of people might not notice them as much. It was something that I noticed because if you pay attention to when the rain's coming down, you can kind of notice digital blocking in slight areas as the rain's coming down real heavy, especially like the helicopter scenes and things like that. But I'll tell you, other than that, the film grain is nicely stable through the entire rest of the film, and I can't really say I had any issues with it as far as it looking digital or gone. It does have a nice layer to it. It looks very filmic from the opening scene to the end scene, and you can notice it right away in the first scenes in the submarine, or any times it's close-ups on people's faces. You can see drastic details in their faces that really did surprise me. The digital version I did not really enjoy. I really thought the digital version was pretty darn poor, to be honest with you. And I was kind of wondering how it was going to turn out on the 4K disc. I can tell you I'm very happy with the difference on this because this does have drastic improvements in depth and detail. The image overall is a nicely filmic image from beginning to end that I think you're going to be very surprised with. Now, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to go down there and give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. But for now, I want to talk about the audio on this here. This does come with a new English Dolby Atmos audio mix. And I can tell you it has some amazing LFE, and overall it has some very amazing bass that will rattle your windows and your neighbor's windows. I was very impressed with the Dolby Atmos audio mix. It is not a quiet Dolby Atmos audio mix in any shape or form. It will use your subwoofers, it will use your height channels. It had very good range, and surprisingly, it used the height channels consistently throughout the entire film. I will say it's a very immersive and very enjoyable Dolby Atmos mix. I didn't think we were going to get one as good as what we got on this, and it was very surprising to me how many times like you can hear bubbles going overhead, things creaking, you know, when they're inside the ship underwater, and you can hear like the metal creaking and cracking overhead used through the height channels, and just so many uses of it that throughout the entire film, there's a ton of consistent uses of your height channels that it will really give your height channels a serious workout. And I'm happy to report the Dolby Atmos mix on this is a reference quality Dolby Atmos audio mix. They did an outstanding job with the Dolby Atmos audio mix on this 4K. I was extremely impressed, and it's rare that I say reference quality. If you follow me here on my channel, you know with Titanic, it rivals Titanic's reference quality Dolby Atmos mix on that. That's how good the Atmos mix on The Abyss is. And if you haven't checked out my full analysis and review on the previous James Cameron's Titanic, that's available right now on this channel as well. I did get that in 2 weeks early for review when I initially did that as well. But that is one of those few reference quality 4K releases, and was my #1 4K release from last year. They did an outstanding job with that one, both visual and audio quality. That's one of those you need to check out. Film grain's intact in that one. Thankfully, you can see the film grain from beginning to end in this release as well. That includes the theatrical cut and the special edition extended cut. Now, I do want to touch on some of the scenes that appear in this film that are due to camera lenses and filters, and specifically filming underwater and different things that they did when filming this film that you will encounter when you watch this 4K release. A lot of people aren't aware that there were specific things they had to do with camera lenses, filters, and certain things filming underwater with certain equipment that caused some of the underwater scenes to have a sort of softer look to some of them. Now, you can still notice film grain present in it, but the underwater scenes, there is numerous things that you will notice some of the times, and it's not all the time, but some of them are more of a diffused, softer look to them in the sense that they have a more haze. Film grain still present in it, and you can still see it nicely, but it just is intentionally the way they filmed it and created this film. That will never go away, and that is not something wrong with this 4K release. As I've seen reported hundreds of times over the years, a lot of the times things get misreported saying, well, this transfer looks horrible in certain scenes. In this case, it's not. Some of those underwater scenes are just due to the way it was created. No matter how many times they restore it, you're still going to have a softer look to it. It's not DNR'd and it's not scrubbed away. It's just the way the film was created originally back in 1989. Now, showing what you get in this, you do get this really nice metallic slipcover. It does say for the first time ever on 4K and Blu-ray, which is what's so unique about this. We skipped Blu-ray and went straight from DVD to 4K with this. That's how impressive this is. Well, it does say The Abyss on the side, has a nice picture on the spine here, and then talks about it. On your 4K disc, as I explained, you get both cuts of the film, the 1993 Special Extended and the theatrical cut from 1989. Both are on your 4K Ultra HD disc. Then your second Blu-ray disc inside here has both cuts as well on a separate Blu-ray disc, and then you have a third Blu-ray disc which has tons of special features, behind the scenes, talking about commentary, stills, deleted scenes, archives. Literally, you get a massive amount of special features, which is why when it says on the front here, Ultimate Collector's Edition, for once, they truly mean that because they gave us all of that content in this set. So we're not getting a double dip later on. Like what I talked about in my Avatar reviews, I did enjoy those releases that they did end up releasing with the extended cuts, though I wish they would have been the first release instead of the second one. Thankfully, in this case, we got both cuts of the films with both restorations on the 4K disc with all the special features, all included in one Ultimate Collector's Edition set the first time. Now, showing what you get inside here, this is your disc 2, which has your movies on it. That's your Blu-ray 4K disc. And then you also get another Blu-ray disc, which is your third one behind the 4K disc. And that one is all of your bonus features. I will tell you, I tested all the discs in this set. They are all 100% region free. You won't have any issues playing any of the discs or any of the special features whatsoever. Now, I did dive into and test out the rough average bitrate for all of you, and I'm happy to report it has a healthy 49 megabits per second. It's not the highest I've ever seen, but it's healthy, and it lends to why the image is nicely filmic from beginning to end. Now, I will tell you there was a lot of drama and made up stuff that was spread around. I'm happy to report this did surprise me, and I'm glad that this looks as nice as it does. It was one of those things I didn't expect the reference quality Dolby Atmos. I didn't expect it to have the film grain after all the stuff I had heard, but that's why a lot of the times I disregard a lot of it and just kind of don't pay attention to digital, because as you noticed in those images above, the digital does not look like the 4K Ultra HD disc. It has drastically better image, better colors, and I will say you can notice the film grain on this, whereas on the digital, I couldn't see any of it. The digital was just a very poor version and does not look with the depth and detail that is present on this native 4K 2160p. And again, that Dolby Vision was really one of those wow experiences for this film that I haven't seen it since many years ago when I had it on DVD. This blows away all home video presentations of The Abyss that I have ever seen. And that surprises me because, like I said, I'd heard so many other just random misreported things. And that's why a lot of the times I try to avoid all of that. But there was just so much drama surrounding this release that really was unwarranted. Everybody should have just waited till I got it in to test and review it to let you know the quality of it. And now getting to my review score. For The Abyss on 4K Ultra HD, in this actually Ultimate Collector's Edition set, this gets an excellent 9.5. It is a must buy. You need to buy and have in your collection. This is one of those that I highly recommend. You will enjoy it. As a fan of the film, this is the best way to experience this film. You'll be blown away from the first opening minutes when you watch the sailors' faces in the submarines and you see the depth and detail. Man, the captain there, when you can see every hair on his face, the film grain's there, but it's not shimmering. It's not digital on top of it. It looks like natural film grain the way film grain should. And man, the depth and detail in that image is surprising. Other than the scenes, like I said, that you will encounter that have some slight digital noise and the kind of blocking that goes with where it clumps with the film grain in some of those more heavy like water rain scenes. Other than that, the film looks very good. And I'm very surprised at how nicely filmic this does. And this goes along really well with Titanic. Another great reference quality Dolby Atmos mix from a James Cameron film that will blow you away. You'll be amazed at how good this looks and how much you enjoyed watching this. The colors shine through brilliantly with the new Dolby Vision HDR10. Dolby Vision's the one I recommend watching though, because that was just wow. I really enjoyed that experience. And it was a big surprise for me. You know, I've tested and reviewed hundreds and hundreds of 4Ks over the years. There's been some good ones and there's been some bad ones. And I'll say for a film that I've always loved and is near and dear to my heart from the 80s, I'm so thrilled that James Cameron released it, and that it's in this quality. This is one of those I highly recommend you buy and add to your collection and is a must buy. Don't worry about all the other junk you've heard. You will enjoy this release and you will say, wow, that Dolby Atmos really kicked your butt. And you'll notice it rattling your windows and your neighbor's windows. And I'm so happy to report this is one of those really great 4K releases to have in your collection of a film that I really enjoy. Now, taking my reviewer's hat off for a minute, I'm thrilled I got this release and I'm thrilled this is out now because, man, I was so worried about this one because I said there was so much junk floating around and so much stuff that was said. Thankfully, it looks really good and is one of those that you'll sit back and say, man, I'm so glad I own this. I'm so glad this is on 4K, and you'll enjoy watching this film. And you'll say, this is one of those year after year you can come back to and watch, considering it's never been on Blu-ray, it's never been on 4K before, and you can't count bootlegs, but it's never been available on either of those. This is great that I'm holding this in my hand. Can you believe that we're finally holding The Abyss, and you're going to be able to own this here in about a week and a few days? You'll be able to have this in your own hands and watch this on your home display. Though as I always say, I hope you have a high-end, professionally calibrated 4K display and 4K player, because you will get the most out of these 4K discs if you have a high-end 4K player and a high-end 4K display that are professionally calibrated. Because man, I did enjoy this on every display that I watched it on. It was a very fun and enjoyable experience, and in comparison to the digital version, this absolutely annihilates and blows away the digital version. I was shocked at how poor the digital version was in comparison to the native 4K transfer we got on this, especially, like I said, the Dolby Atmos mix on this. Most of the LFE was just poor and just really drummed out on the digital version. This annihilates it in every single area. Visual quality, audio quality. This is the only way you should be experiencing The Abyss. This is a must-own, must-buy release. Now, it's very important if you decide you're going to buy The Abyss now and add it to your collection, make sure to go down and use that direct Amazon sale link I posted right down there below. That link down there never costs you, the viewer, a penny extra, but they're very important to the creation of these videos. The only way I can always continue to create these videos is through you, my viewers and subscribers' support, through using those direct Amazon sale links down there below and joining my Collectors VIP Club. Collectors VIP Club only costs you $1 or $2 every month, less than the price of a cup of coffee, but that support goes back into the testing, the analysis, the computers, and the software I use to create all of these exclusive comparison reviews. They're all extremely time consuming, and that's why I need all of your support. Make sure to start the conversation down there below and let me know how excited you are for The Abyss now. Are you excited to get to experience this? As always, I truly hope all of you have a blessed day, and I've always got something new, early, exclusive, and exciting coming out very soon.